What were you the god of again?
Welcome back, dice rollers and role players. Ryan with God of Crits, here to talk to you about Kingdom's Reign. We're going to continue our deep dive series. Go ahead and check out all the other videos. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and join our Discord. All right, we're going to get into colonizing today. Going to be a big part of this Kingdom's Reign here. We're not going to do it exactly like we would in Civ or Civilization. Civilization, obviously, you start a new like city wherever you go, and I think that would be really micromanagey. I do want my players in their kingdoms to get creative and to say, okay, I got a new hex. I'm just going to tell the DM I got a new city. I'll name it. Kind of build out the lore of your kingdom. It will not be required. You are not going to have to manage each city or each hex on its own and worry about its production and its happiness. No, you're going to have one full kingdom and everything will build into that. It would be, I think, really micromanagey and probably put way too much, like tripling the effort for a DM to have to worry about each individual small city. So we're just going to say one kingdom, but your hexes will divide amongst that. Speaking of hexes, I have built kind of just a rough map. This is not going to be our final map, especially if you're a player that's going to play in my campaign. Don't expect this to be what you see. But we're going to zoom in here, and I am going to show you kind of the map I created here in Roll20. And let's say that you start with, let's say you start with these. You're going to start with 6 hexes. Let's say you start with these 6. That's about 6. And we'll color them in a little bit. This hex, this hex, this hex, this hex, this hex, this hex. And then your main capital will always be in the middle of your first 6 starting hexes. So right there, that's going to be where your kingdom starts. And then obviously you can see, watch our production video. You could then start to plug in that, oh, this tile right here is going to be this type, and this tile is this type, blah, 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 blah. Today we're talking about expanding. We're talking about colonization, however. And in so, I'm going to tell you how to expand your kingdom. Going back to our fancy Nancy OneNotes here. It is going to be a check-marked KP input to get a new hex. We don't know what that is yet. For a just loose example here, let's say it's 500 KP. So it's a combined KP that you're going to add up turn after turn after turn. You're not going to get it every turn. Obviously, that would be way too broken to get a new hex every turn. But let's say at 500 KP, you're granted a new hex. Now, there are government policies that will raise and lower this. You could also find magical items through exploration out in the world. So let's say you reach that first check mark and you get your first expansion of hex. At the beginning, you don't get to choose exactly where you want to put this hex. You have to put it on the perimeter of your first 6 starting hexes. This is a way to say, hey, you got to slow down. You can't just go adventure out in the world. It's kind of realistic to build out your home base first. So let's say you want to get closer to the water, so your first hex is going to be this one here. And then your first, I think we're, again, this is a rough number. We're going to go with your first 3. So let's say the next one is here, and you finally get a river tile. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. And your next hex, you wanna build across the river. You build right here. Boom. Now that you have reached those, I just drew a penis. I didn't even mean to do that. Nice. Anyways, let's say with our new penis colony that you have decided. Now you have reached that first 3 expansions mark. Can't believe I just drew a penis. That was cool. You've got your first 3 expansions. Now you unlock the ability to go wherever you want. So you get that third one. It's kind of sad to not continue to build out our beautiful sculpture here, but you want to go somewhere else. I think I'm going to probably cap it and say you have to go on your starting continent for the next couple until you get probably an exploration bonus high enough. But let's say that you go, all right, well, I heard through rumors that this sea up here has a bunch of magic swells. And I sent a scout up there. I spent a couple of KP to send a scout up there. No one has claimed that territory. Cool. I am going to be the first one to do so. And so you get this middle tile right here. You're just going to stake your claim, and then the next tiles are going to be you building it out around it right here. Cool. And then that's how your kingdom is going to grow. Another part of this is you can't just start growing and put all your KP and get your perfect penis colony. That's not really how this is going to work, because you are going to be capped by happiness. Your people are not going to want to leave and create and expand your colony if you don't have enough happiness. So that's going to be obviously going to be balanced and managed by your entertainment policy. As well as the total KP you put into this is going to equal your actual number of population. So this is where we're going to manage population and how many people actually live. It'll be a number that will go up the more KP you put into this. Next thing is you can quote unquote eye an area. It's going to be a low set KP amount to eye an area. Let's go back to our example here. And let's say that after you do all of this, you want to expand. Let's say that you get your exploration high enough to where you can go to new continents. Beautiful. Well, you have an ally that is over on this continent over in the west. And you want to make your way across the sea here and start your shore on the... actually, it'd be funny if we did this, right? There we go. You want to make your way all the way over here to settle on the beaches of the Western Hemisphere. Oh, beautiful. Heard it's nice over there. So you're going to spend your colonization to get your new hex. You're going to travel all the way over here. However, before you do that, a couple of turns before, it's a lot. Let's say the KP next check mark is a 2,000 KP or whatever it is. And you're like, wow, that sucks. That's really far away. You are going to be able to do something called eyeing a hex. This is our loose term right now. I thought about this 5 minutes ago, but I like the idea. You're going to eye a hex, which is pretty much you're going to send someone out there. You're going to observe the hex, and you're going to go, eventually I want to move there. Now, what this does is it kind of shows your hand, but it's also going to lower that check mark for you and get you there quicker. But if someone hears that you want to take that hex, another kingdom could go, why? I'm already, maybe this other kingdom is 50 KP away from getting his next check mark, and he knew where he wanted to, but he goes, someone's eyeing that hex? Why? You go up there and you find a giant mountain with this super plentiful mine, and you're like, uh-oh, I want this hex. I'm going to spend 50 KP next turn. I am going to steal that hex from that person. So it's that give and take, that dangerous game of balance and negotiation that's going to go on. Could be quite fun. But this is colonization. It's going to be another important policy that you're going to have to put some stuff into or not. Or you could just sit back in your kingdom and stick to your 6 hexes and say, I'm done here. This is where I'm going to settle. All right, until the next time, roll on, gamers.